What is up, guys? It is the afternoon on the 14th, and man, we just got done fixing my car. We are back up and running. I got a vehicle again. Man, I'm very appreciative of my brother and my dad for helping me today, because man, I couldn't have done this without them. Checking my brakes real quick. Make sure they lock properly, because the last thing I want to do is drive long distance and they start messing up on me. I've been just letting that, pressing them, pretty much letting the fluid get in there, letting air out from, both sides of the car. Whew. We bled them, we changed the hose, and luckily it was just the bottom hose that goes to the metal brake line to the caliper, the plastic part, like right there where they connect the metal to the plastic and the metal, where it connects at the top. It had ripped and it was just leaking out fluid everywhere. Luckily, that's all it was. It was like a $28 part. Went ahead, bought it, changed it out. They had a cheaper one, but with when it comes to your vehicle and the brake system, something important like that, you don't want to cheap out. Go ahead, spend the extra, and you don't have to worry about it later. Just go on about your day. So we did that and changed it. Had to buy more tools because I didn't have the right, crescent wrenches or whatever, anything like that. All I had was like some vice grips, and that wasn't going to work. So I had to go buy tools. Then, of course, more brake fluid. And when we were taking off the tire, I noticed that two of my lug nuts were actually, not good anymore. Like, I'll show you right here, right there. These things were all messed up, like that one and this one. Like, you could just tell they were stripped already. Like, right there. They were just no good. The crossbar wasn't catching them no more, so I went ahead and just bought two new ones. It was a quick little fix, or a quick little buy. These are like $4 each. I bought two. I probably should have just bought all 5 of them, but I'm probably, I'm paying off this car very soon. So once I'm done paying for it, I ain't got a monthly payment, I'm going to start investing money back into it, more money. Because this car is it's a 2015 Chrysler 200, and it only has 121,000 miles. When I bought the car, I had it at like 56,000 miles, and that was like 5 years ago. So from then until now, I'm averaging about close to, that's another 60,000 miles on. I'm averaging about 12,000, right around there, a year. So that's not too bad. And I maintained it pretty well. This has been the first mechanical issue I've had. Well, not even mechanical, just first issue I've had with it. Like, major problem was just the brakes. And obviously I maintain my car, do the oil changes and all that good stuff. And I could just tell that this thing is way better than what it was, because I was having to push it all the way to the floor and it wasn't catching. Yeah, this was the first issue I've had with it where I had to fix something mechanically. Obviously I've done other stuff, like changed the gas cap. Haven't had to change any ignition coils or anything, or row 2 sensors. But I am getting to that point where I am going to probably look at all of that stuff, make sure I don't need to change anything. Right now my check engine light is not on. I have my tire pressure light on, and that's because 2 of the tires, the sensors are missing, so it's not reading the proper tire pressure for 2 of my tires. So what I'm probably going to do next year, once it's paid off, I'm going to pay off. I'm going to replace that, and I'm probably going to get new rims and, of course, new tires, because these rims came with the car. And since I bought it, I've had to change one of the rims out so far. And if you know, here in Texas, because of the way it is, the roads have a lot of potholes. So I'm probably going to need to change out all the rims very soon, just to be safe. And while I'm at it, of course, I'm just going to buy brand new tires. Altogether, that'll probably run me... I know a website that they sell rims and all that on. The stock rims or aftermarket rims for like $120 a pop. So that's probably going to be about $500 for the rims. And of course, there's always deals everywhere, like at Pep Boys, Discount Tire, Walmart. They'll give you like three tires when you get one free. And my tire ranges roughly around $60 to $100 per tire, from what I've seen at brand new, those places. So I'll probably end up spending maybe about another $200 for that. So altogether, I'm estimating about $800-900 to get new tires and rims. And then of course, while I'm doing that, I'll probably just, change out the front struts and maybe the rear struts for the suspension part. Don't know if I need new coils. I'll have somebody check that. Like, that's coming in the next year, because I do plan on keeping this car for quite a while, and then go from there. But after I pay off the car, I am going to take like a year off of payments, because I've been paying this car off since 2021, around there. Yeah, 2021. That's when I bought the car, and not paying it off next year. Almost done. 5-year term. That's what I signed up for. So about to finish that very soon. But yeah. Anyways, that's where we're at. Almost done with all these things and gonna get it done. But I told you guys I would record a little bit. I didn't record us changing the stuff, because when me and my dad and my brother get together, people get mad. People start thinking they know better than somebody else. So we pretty much just like not gonna record. And plus, like, my plan, like, they were trying to dictate how we did this. I was like, they were like, let's take it off. I'm like, why are we gonna take off the hose? Or if we can't take off the hose, then why are we gonna force it off or whatever? I don't know. Like, they were taking off the hose, but they were taking off the wrong part. So like, it was weird. My brother was tightening and my dad was dictating how my brother did stuff. My brother was getting upset. But when push comes to shove, I got in there. I was like, let me do it. I loosened it up, took off the hose. My brother, I took off the bottom and the top, and it came off, but it was kind of stuck, because I was like, man, it doesn't want to come off. And I had to take off this clamp that I forgot about to remove the hose, and we got it off and put it back on. Now I am driving, which is a good thing, because I haven't had my car all week, and I'm one of those guys. I like to go wherever I want, when I want. And I hate relying on rides, man. I hate it. So luckily I got my car back. We're up and running. We're going strong. Hopefully no other issues occur. And yeah. But remember, guys, it's always good to look up how to do stuff on your own that you can properly do and not have to pay somebody to do it, because today, like, I knew how to do all this stuff, but I didn't have the proper tools. So I was forced to buy tools. Versus I could have just paid somebody. I could have bought the part, paid somebody like $40-50 to come change it, and it would have been done. But I like to get my hands dirty. I like to do it myself sometimes, which is what I did, and I'm glad. But anyways, just do what you can when you can, and have fun with it. Because although we were arguing a little bit, bickering, me and my dad and my brother got to do some bonding. We got to work on something together, And it's very rare that we get together and do stuff like that because we're, you know, obviously me and my brother are older. My dad's getting older, and you know, we got our lives, we got our families, we got jobs, and we don't always get to just hang out and have fun, poke fun at each other. I'm glad that we got to do this together, even though it was a little bit of time. We started like what, at 1, and then it's now like 4. It took us like well, we started off like at 1:30, so technically it only took us like 2.5 hours, and mostly that was because I had to go buy the stuff. Like we took the tire off, we jacked it up, took the tire off, loosened up the hose and everything, went and bought the hose, bought the tools, came back and put everything on. But of course, when you're putting stuff on, you're a little frustrated and stuff, you don't think straight, so that's why it took us longer. If I had bought the hose first, had the right tools and everything already here, it probably would have took us like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But anyways, it is what it is. But I will catch y'all tomorrow on the next one. But until then, you guys stay safe, God bless, and peace.